Howdy folks, welcome to the brewery, Brew Day, and today I'm brewing the XPA that's going to be for the daughter's wedding, and this is not quite the recipe for the Malt Shovel brewers. This is our XPA. I haven't got the malts on hand that I've been told are as per that recipe. The recipe was given to me by, I don't know, I can't remember who it was. I asked quite a while back when the daughter first, well, not even before the daughter even wanted some beer for the wedding, and I'd asked around, because this is a beer I actually really enjoy. If you don't recognise the beer, I'll stick a picture up of what it looks like so you've got an idea. And get in there, you son of a bitch. Not always easy getting the old bag in here around the recirc arm, but we do get it there. So yeah, I asked online for a recipe if someone sort of had one or knew one, and someone popped on and was very confident that this recipe came from the brewery. Someone within the brewery, exactly to what level they were in the brewery, I don't know. But they sent me the recipe, and that's the recipe I'm going to stick down the bottom to the Brewfather link. That's the recipe that I was given. There are just a few changes, like I said, due to ingredients, but I'll discuss them as we go. So, if I can manage not to trip over all my bloody gear here, I am brewing 23 litre batch, full volume brewer bag. So, I have 35 litres of water, adjusted with various chemicals, again as per the recipe, and that leaves me about 1.5 litres or 1.25 litres to sparge this with, or to rinse the bag with when I'm finished that. Not mucking around with it today, just nice and just simple, straight through, brew in a bag. So I'm aiming for a mash temperature of 65 degrees. I had, I'll leave that hair out. We're about 70 prior to mashing. So we're all good. So as I said, grain bill is different. As I said, the original quoted Barrack Burston ale malt, I don't have it. So what, 4.7 kilos. So what I'm using is combination of Gladfield ale malt, Voyager Schooner pale malt, and Schooner Valoria. Now I've used those, and you'll see the numbers in as we go on there, how much I've used to get that 4. So we're still at the 4.7 kilo. So we're still running exactly the same target OG, same EBC on the outcome. So that's where the measures start to get there. And then 300 grams of some toffee malt, which is Gladfield. That's it. So the original recipe is fairly basic: 4.7 kilos of ale malt, 300 grams of the toffee, so it's got 94 and 6%. Very simple mash bill. And that's going to get me, it's a target OG of 1045, which should get us about a 4.5% big. So she's underway. So I'm going to let this mash now for 40 minutes. I will get the recirc up and running and recirc, and I'll give this a few stirs as we go through. We'll come back and have a look and see where we're travelling numbers wise. Righto, we're 40 minutes in. I've been giving this a stir a couple of times, just keeping an eye on the temp. Right now, we've been hovering 65, 66 degrees, fairly good. So I've just put the element on. We're going to raise now to 72 for first step of a mash out. And let's just get a bit of an idea where we're travelling. Okay, we've got 10. Oh, I call that 1038, 1039. I think 1039 is target pre-boil. So we're bang on. So happy with that. So I'll get this up to 72. Going to hold it for 20 minutes including the ramp up. So which should take probably about 8 minutes to get to 6 degrees. So we'll get about a 12 minute there. And then that 20 minutes I'll ramp it up to 78 and hold it. We'll do the same thing, another 20 minutes. At that point we'll pull the bag. So I'll come back then. See you soon. Alright, mash is done, and once again I forgot that the clips on the bag are all but impossible to fucking get off with the heat-proof gloves on. So once again I've had to fucking feck around with that. So alright, so we have done 40 minutes at 65, 66 degrees. We did 20 minutes, oh, I said, 20 minutes at 72 and then another 20 minutes at 78. I've got 1.6 litres of nice hot water here. Could possibly be a little bit cooler than what it is. Ideally 85 would have been target temp for this. It's probably a little bit more than that, but won't kill us. There's concerns about extracting tannins if you use 2 or higher water. Now I think if you were to leave the grain sitting in 90-degree water for an extended period, then that may be a problem. But given this is just running through for a minute, I don't think it's going to cause a problem, but I've certainly never known it to be a problem, and I don't know any other brewers have ever had a problem with it, so that's all good. So get the element back on while that's finishing the drain. And let that finish, I'll get a sample, we'll go and sit down, we'll talk about some hops and have a look at our pre-boil gravity and volumes. Righto, we just come into a boil, so we can start that. So we're going to run for 30 minutes now before we have any hop additions. Our first addition is at 30 minutes. We've pretty much got target boil volume. I was looking for 31, just over 30. I've got about 32, I think. So it's hard to tell when it's hot because it expands a bit, but we're not under, that's for sure. So we're in the ballpark. That's the main thing. Sample is still just a tad warm. I've had it in the freezer, but get a proper hydro reading on that. See where we travel. Mid mash refracts were promising. We're looking for, I think it was 1045. 1045 is, no, 1039 is pre-boil. Okay. And I don't think we're quite there. Oh, yeah, no. Now look, about 1036. We are a little warm, so it's probably pretty close. So might be 1038 given we're a little bit over on that, potentially a little bit over on the volume. We're in the ballpark, so happy enough with that. That's no problem. Now hops, I said 31 single 30-minute addition. That's the only boil hop. That's 9 grams of Citra to give us 10 IBU. Then from there we will do a 20-minute hop stand, which will be 30 grams of Citra, 20 grams of Galaxy, 15 grams of El Dorado, and 10 grams of Amarillo Lupamax. The original recipe called for 15 grams of Amarillo. I've only got about 12 grams of normal, standard Amarillo, which isn't enough to do, well, wasn't enough to do that addition, certainly not enough to do the additional dry hop addition. So I did have some Lupamax there, small pack left over, and this was actually off the original XPA that I was trialling for this very beer, as for the wedding beer, which just didn't end up where I wanted it to. So I've changed the Amarillo to the Lupamax so I can get the numbers, 10 grams. Then dry, we're doing 30 grams Citra. The balance of the Lupamax, which will be 20 grams, which is again a little bit more than the actual original recipe. The original recipe was 15 grams of standard, but I'm not going to bother having just a couple of grams of the Lupamax sitting around, so it's going in. And I really don't think a little bit extra Amarillo is going to hurt. 20 grams of Galaxy and 15 grams of El Dorado. And I said they will go in on day 5 of the ferment. 80-degree hop stand for 20 minutes. So that's the next thing really we'll be looking at. So half an hour, so I'll drop in some Citra, drop a wolf lock in with 15 minutes to go, some yeast nutrient, then cool, and drop this hop stand in. So we'll come back to have a quick look at the hop stand when it's underway. Light and a tad grainy, which is pretty much what one would expect. See you soon. Rightio, transfer is done. 23 litres into the fermenter as per target, which is good. Let's see what our gravity has ended up at. We run about a litre over all the way through, and I probably could have got another litre, I think, into the fermenter had I wanted to. So let's see where we're at though. Yeah, I'm going to call that. Call it 1044. So just under. So had we had a litre less going through, then I think we'd be right. So I'm very happy with that, because that's close enough. That's going to do nicely. I want a, 4.5 is the target, so if we get our attenuation, we're still going to finish at 4.4 thereabouts, so that's not too bad. Yeah, I've had a bit of a stuff up with the yeast. I've got no US-05 here, which is the set yeast to brew with. I've got 05 in the yeast bank, but I really don't have time to get a starter up and going. I've got to work tomorrow. It's 6:30 now. And we're going away tomorrow. We're going down the coast straight after work, so I haven't got time to get a starter up and going. And I haven't got enough in the yeast bank to just, just do a revigorating starter, just do a small start and get it up and going. It's only like 15 mil, which was off an overbuild. It's generation 0, so it's not going to get ready. So what I've done is I've come up with a pack of Liberty Bell Mangrove Jacks. So it's not quite the best strain for this beer, but it will do the job without too much problem. It's got good attenuation, so it should still get us where we need to. It flocks well. It will add some. It will support the fruity hops while still leaving some of the hop to shine. So I think it's going to work quite happily. I'm not completely stoked that that's happening, but worst case scenario, I do have time to rebrew this before the wedding. I've got 3 beers to do. This is the first one. Wedding's not till the end of November, so I've got time if I do need to do a rebrew, but I'd rather not at this point, because doing that then impedes everything else. I want all my own beers and stuff are on here. So yeah, but that's where we're going. So I'm breaking my own rules by only pitching the 1 pack again, because that's all I've got. I did toss up just grabbing, maybe 2 packs from the Mitre 10 tomorrow, but their yeast sits out on the shelf. It's not kept cold. It's not ideal, and I don't know how. It's probably been there for a while too, so that's far from ideal. So we'll go with that. Right, that's nice. There's a nice little bit of hop there. Good little sweetness from the malt. So I think that'll set us up nicely with our good dry hop. So it's a dry hop on day 5 with the Citra, Eldorado, Galaxy, and Amarillo. And that's it. So we'll be back in let's give it 5 or 6 weeks, and we'll be doing a little taster. I'll get one 19 litre keg out of this, and then a couple of bottles for myself for the tasters and things along the way. So, any comments or any questions about this brew? Stick them down the bottom. You know where they go. As always, big thumbs up to Little John's Patreons. Thanks for your support, guys. There's a link down there. Thanks to all the subscribers of the channel. That helps out as well. If you aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. They're all down there. And give us a thumbs up. So that's brew day done. This is Little John's XPA, my version of Malt Shovel Brewing's. This is our XPA. Beer which will be one of 3 at my daughter's wedding. So till I see you again, when we brewing beer, drinking beer or talking beer, good brewing. Cheerio.